All right, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, 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 Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors and salutations to all you Akim out there that's laboring in the truth and sincerity without wavering. And this lesson, we're gonna call it "Ain't This What We've Been Saying?" But ain't this what we've been saying? All right, this is an article from ABC News, right? And as you see the headline, UN chief warns world is one step from nuclear annihilation. And my whole question in this, because remember about the doomsday clock, right? And the whole purpose it was created, the gauge how close everything is to what we're just reading, a nuclear annihilation. And see, in the spirit of the Lord had us, the prophets, the true prophets, all right, starting with the head elder apostles on down, the brothers of great millstone, the body of great millstone, who come in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We constantly been telling you that this thing is heating up. Okay, the spirit got Apostle Tar to call it 2022 the year to turn up. So now you're hearing all this talk, and this is nothing but prophecy coming to pass. All right, UN's world is one step from nuclear annihilation. And before I go to that, let me hit a few scriptures. Okay, I'm gonna hit this one real quick since I got it right here. Second Peter's chapter 1, verse 19. It says, "We have also a more sure word of prophecy." Remember, prophecy means what? To say before, to say that something's gonna happen before it happens. We told you that pretty much that America was gonna be destroyed. All right, and that was based off of the prophecies in the scriptures, man. You see, we didn't pull that out of our asses or pull it out of the air. No, the Lord, through his Holy Spirit, Rakha Kodash, all right, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, moved upon us to say these things, opened our eyes to see it in the scriptures, and the Lord literally was talking to us and telling us what to go say. So that's why we've been saying this, man. And a lot of we suffer so much persecution still to this day. And seeing the thing is, you got a lot of these little slimeball, greasy ass preachers, and all these. Now everybody want to sit there and speak about or tiptoe around or speak more, should I say? Because they really don't go into it about the end days and everything like that, right? You got a lot of these guys, which I mean, hey, it's cool. It's all in the spirit. You got guys sitting up there. We've been telling you that the Most High, we should bring that out forever. Micah, the 7th chapter, right? She that is my enemy, shame she'll see it, right? Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. We've been saying that the Lord was going to bring this place down, man. That it was going to be famines, earthquakes. We kept told you these fires were going to increase. We told you that chaos was going to ensue. We told you there's going to be more violence in the streets. It's going to be blood spilling in the streets. We always prophesied about this, man, because the Lord told us to, man. You see? So we always were speaking upon these things, man. All right. Oh, Micah. Yeah, that's the scripture we was going to get. Micah chapter 7. I believe it's the 10th verse. Well, you know what? Let me read from 7. Micah 7 and 7. And I'm just going to jump around in a few places. These are scriptures. Well, by now, the elect, which, and again, Apostle Tahar had said it through the Spirit, and I always pondered on that one. But I believe that the elect is sealed. The elect is already sealed. So, brothers, the elect know this word. The elect knew that this day was gonna come. So that's why we're embracing it, man. We're not running from. You got people that's all scared and all worried and everything. Here it is. They got that, that nasty, the super nasty bumps that come up on you. The jungle bumps, the ape juice or whatever you want to call this shit, right? And and showing you that people are bugged the fuck out. Because here it is, Esau came. Now this is sweeping and becoming the next thing. Maybe I shouldn't even say epidemic. They're trying to. It has to become an epidemic before it becomes a pandemic. So now they're starting to declare state different emergencies, health emergencies, which eventually will make it into an epidemic, right? And then once it's a pandemic, then that means that it's amongst all the people, right? like how they did with the other things. So, but now check this out. They came out with this thing. Now this thing blew up, which they just be making. It's all kind of. And by the way, there's different, which are all the plagues. You know, even though this devil's cooking these things up and making them and throwing them out there, the Lord is putting the spirit on them. Because see, the scriptures tell you that about Esau that he accomplishes a diligent search. So they searched out, and that's why you can even go Google a lot of this shit, unless they take it, you know, scrub it off the net, as they say. But you can find out about all the different viruses and bubonic plague and things of that nature, which they studied this and they got as much information and actually whatever plagues they could contain and they could get their hands on, and they basically, how would you say, they kept it alive. They kept a lot of these plagues alive. They figured ways to, you know, to tap into these plagues and then tweak them and everything else. So that's the time that we in. This is what we dealing with, man. That's why the scriptures say the instruments of the churl are cruel. Because this devil plays a cruel game. But anyway, so now this funky pox come out of nowhere, right? And but they got you know, a jab for it, right? But guess what the qualifications are? In order for you to get the jab, I believe you got to be over 18, and you got to be basically a bati man. It's only for bati men. How is that a qualification to get something to say? So that's showing you that the agenda that they have, and we told you about these things, man. So and why are you asking how come this place is about to be annihilated by nuclear destruction? It's about damn time, man. You see? It's about damn time. But that's the qualifications or the criteria you have to meet in order to get the jab, showing you that it's all bullshit, man. But people get all up into it, you know? And then that's why a lot of people are dropping like flies, man. Dropping like dominoes, man. All right? But anyway, Micah 7, and I'm going to start at 7 again. Right? It says, therefore, I will look unto the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And throughout Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that's how we all been, man. Starting with the head elders on down to you new brothers that in the faith, because you was a part of it. The only way you could come in this truth and remain, right, not get offended, understand and truly grow, is that you had to be a part of it, man. In the Apocrypha, it tells you that, like how birds return to their like or their sort, so does truth return to them that practice in it. So in order for you to be in this knowledge, that means that you was one of them persons that going back in the ancient time. That's why it's like, man, damn, I listen to the apostles, elders, this brother, that brother, them GMS, man, what they say, man, that thing resonates with my soul. Like, man, I'll be watching videos, you know, from the apostles, elders, bishops, and different camp leaders. It talks to my soul, like I'm, you know. Then you might see somebody that you like, nah, I don't know where he coming from. And then you find out the dude's probably a clown or what have you. But it says, therefore, I will look into the Lord. Because at the end of the day, that's our only refuges in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And you're supposed to find how would you say, peace, refuge, and this truth, and this word, man. All right, you're supposed to wear this thing like armor, man. This is what's going to protect us. It says, this is Micah the prophet. See, Micah was a prophet. He wasn't no goddamn cracker, no white boy. None of the prophets was Muslim. All right, so all you niggas that's in Islam, you wasted all your time. Because you got lifelong Muslims out there, niggas that so-called change their life around for the name of Allah. Well, you wasted your time. But actuality, you playing out your lot, because everybody has a lot. You're just not one of the true prophets. So Micah, which is an Israelite, he said he's going to wait for the Lord. I will wait for the power of my salvation. My power will hear me. And the Lord be hearing us, man. We said, and that's why, you know, Apostle Ricard says it a lot, which is true, you know, and about praying, that's how you keep your medicine strong. That's a Indian saying. If you hear Indian, so-called Indian, you know, Gad Reuben, one of the indigenous tribes, when they talk about keeping your medicine strong, I mean, you know, some of them talking on some bullshit, but really it means your connection, your prayers to the Most High. All right? So that's what you're supposed to do. All right? Because that's where our power lies in, man. You see? But it says, My power will hear me. Rejoice not against me, O my enemy. And see, the so-called white man been rejoicing over us. That's why they made mockery, man. That's why they had us on auctioning blocks. Healthy Hebrews to be sold. Oh, wait a minute. We can't let them know they the Hebrew Israelite. Healthy Negroes to be sold. That's why they did all of that. You see? They were rejoicing over us. All right? And the scriptures tell you about it. They was trading us. They was, selling us for, silver, gold, wine, different items. And then sitting there making parodies and, all these different shows and everything. Aunt Jemima Black. This is what they did. They were, because why? They had the rulership over us like they do still to this day. That's why you got these devils still talking crazy, man. Like that pedophile, that child molester, creepy sleepy Joe Biden, the POTUS, all right, the so-called United States president. That dude is a goddamn pedophile, man. And he's sitting up there talking about that they supposedly killed Bin Laden. Man, that thing is played out so long. Ain't nobody don't believe in all that no more, man. But yet they're gonna say, yeah, we killed the number two. How many fucking number two top men are they? This was the right hand man of Bin Laden, right? They done killed 40 motherfuckers that's supposed to be the right hand man to Bin Laden. How many right hands did the nigga have? You see? But then you got this creepy, slimy motherfucker. Yeah, that just proves we'll get you if you do any. Man, come on, man. Man, somebody need to get Corn Pop. I wish Corn Pop would come up right in the middle while he giving a speech and just deck him, man. All right, because we find out Corn Pop was really a real nigga that really kicked his ass back there. Because he talked about he stood up to Corn Pop. What if that's a real nigga that kicked his motherfucking ass, man? All right, and then he just catch him out there slipping. Which anyway, I believe that more than likely that's a goddamn clone, man, or a double or whatever. But anyway, it says, rejoice not against me, O my enemy, when I fall. And we have fell. But now we're in a time where the Lord is raising us up. And again, these are things that we've been standing on for the longest, man. That's why you might see guys, they might try to pop up when something happened, then they disappear. All right, but when you look at Great Millstone, the true men of Great Millstone, you always see them pushing prophecy, always teaching, always pushing the word of the Most High, warning about the destruction, warning about the charagma, man. You see? And a lot of these you're going to have jokers trying to sit there after the fact, man. Johnny come latelys, man. But again, we've been saying this for the longest. It said, rejoice not against me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. And the Lord is going to raise us all up, man. All right? So that's why you got to get right with your brother. Don't have no animosity. Don't be, thinking evil thoughts of your brothers or whatever. Have mercy. I mean, of course, I ain't talking about niggas. I'm talking about brothers, man. We in a time where you got to let brotherhood rule, true brotherhood. Because why? Yahweh Shai said, my servants will be known by the love that they have for one another. So if you ain't got love for a brother, then how you think you connected to the Most High? So that's why, sometimes we have to make them videos. Brothers better grow the hell up, man. I mean, we ain't gonna be perfect. We need Yahweh Shai at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, the scriptures say give diligence, right? Meaning give diligence on transforming yourself into the new creature in Yahweh Shai. Diligence in doing, which goes into doing the work. But anyway, it says, when I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. So we about to roll into, and it's all kind of shit that could pop off. You have towns that could lose their lights. Brothers, the scriptures say, be ye pilgrims, right, on the earth. Some brothers might have to move out of their areas when certain storms happen. You can't, the scriptures say the prudent man looketh well to his going. If you know that a hurricane or something is destined to hit your house, get the fuck up out of there. That's like with Lot. The Lord sent the angels, right, to give them the forecast. So I'm about to smoke these motherfuckers, man. Get the fuck out of here. And guess what Lot did? Lot got the fuck up out of there. But of course, that wicked ass woman, Lot's wife, we know what she did because she's still over there as a pillar of salt. All right. But anyway, it says, when I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light. Hold on one second. Yeah, Slack. Normally I put it on airplane mode when I'm recording off of this phone. I forgot to put it on there because this phone, all type of notifications and messages and shit coming. But anyway, back to the scripture. It says, the Lord shall be a light unto me. So and then that ties in with the Apocrypha. Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, all right, around the 70th verse. Matter of fact, grab that up real quick. Since we're here. Second Ezra 16. And let's see around. Okay, so now this is Second Ezra 6, which goes into the prophecy, the things that we've been telling them was going to happen. It said, for this shall be in every place and in the next cities. Who bring these scriptures out more than us, man? And we didn't just start doing, we've been doing this, but nobody wasn't listening, man. Just like Noah. Noah been out there, been telling them about what was about to happen, man. See, the Most High, before he destroys any kingdom, he always sends out the prophets. He give you a warning, all right? He give you a warning, someone to tell you that, look, this is what the Father said. We told you the Father's about to wrap America up, all right? The scriptures tell you in Isaiah that when those nuclear missiles actually hit, that it's going to cause the earth to rock to and fro like a drunkard. So it said, for they should be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection, right? Which is a cutting from within, all right? That's why they make all these different movies about Hunger Games and Purge, about rebellion, and how then the mercenaries come in there, and you know the ones that's supposed to be woke or whatever, they under attack. Well, that represent us, the Israelites, man. All right, that's why they were gonna make a movie called Asher. Whatever happened to that, man? Okay, and if anybody that remember that movie Asher, they was gonna make, it was about them trying to infiltrate the Hebrew Israelites. That's what the movie was about. Okay, but they did just like what they did. What's my man name? Fred Hampton. All right, don't the Black Messiah, Judas, the Black Messiah, something like that. If I'm quoting it right, which he wasn't a man of the Lord. Like you had a lot of those guys that were front runners, but they weren't men of the Lord. They didn't have the message. We actually have the message. The Lord gave us the true message. Farrakhan ain't got the message. He knows it, but if Farrakhan was to come out and tell y'all that, look, man, those Hebrew Israelites, everything they saying is right. Those are the prophets. We're not Muslims. This is a false religion that we've been following. Farah Muhammad was not a prophet. He was not sent by Allah. Elijah Muhammad was a wicked. You know, if he wasn't come out and tell these things, what do you think will happen? You know how devastated people, they'll probably like, oh, we're not. You know, he's going senile right now, you know. 'Cause that's what they do when people start telling the truth. You know, they say that they senile, they're losing their mind or whatever. So the Lord gave us the message, and we've been telling you what the message was. And there were people that, you know, the elites, they always paid attention to us. And there's other people that listen to us, you know. And now things are happening. So it says, they should be like madmen, sparing none. And, you know, I forget her name, you know, but we used to watch, Pastor Tar bought a video, what was it, Millennium Falcon? I forget the name of the video, but I believe the chick's name was Lindsay Hunter that was on it. She was, I guess, hosting it, but she was showing the different Gurkha troops and the soldiers, and they had a logo on their tanks, right? Because a lot of tanks, you see them, they might have a certain number of what it is with a code saying what type of tank it. But the logo that they had underneath it with the multi-jurisdictional task force was expect no mercy. So now in 71, it said they should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. It's going to be a great onslaught, man. And this is the day of Jacob's trouble that we're reading about, man. And we told you. So, but before the nuclear destruction actually hits, there's Jacob's trouble has to happen. Okay, the issuing of the charagma has to happen, right? The MOTB. All right, there's certain prophecies, small, not much, not a lot. That's why we're that close. And like I said, these devils are trying to buy themselves extra time because here it is. They set up that doomsday clock, and the doomsday clock was what? I forgot how many seconds to 12. Right now, the shit should then be right at a second away from 12. But they know doing that just furthers the panic, and they want people to panic, but not to that extent. All right, But it's nothing they can do about it because the Most High is going to have them shook. All right. But anyway, it says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. And just in dealing with our people, you got a lot of our people that's living all right, that's living good, got mansions and everything, you know. So guess what? A lot of them going to be in for a big surprise, man, because they never thought that this would happen. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Because why? We know that we're going to be in the middle of it, but that's going to turn for a testimony, man. And it's going to show the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. The Lord is going to show his power through us. All right. The same men that you thought were insignificant, you got people constantly scoffing at the apostles and elders and bishops. You're going to find out that the Lord is going to be glorified through low life, that so-called low life like us. All right. And the rest of the brothers that are of the elect. Because the scriptures say that we're looked at as the offscouring of the world, man, the refuge, the trash, right? But the Lord, it said, then shall they be known who are my chosen. You see? So now, let me go back to where we was at. Micah 7. It says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord. So that's the curses and the punishment that we're going through, the persecution we're going through, because I have sinned against him. And all of us have fallen short of the glory. We all went off. That's why the Lord had to punish us. It said, until he plead my cause. Meaning what? Yahweh Shai is did daily. The scriptures tell you he has the prayers of the saints, bringing them to the Father. That's why he's also known as what? A mediator. That's the greatest mediator you ever going to find, man. And through him is why we still got a chance, hope and life, right? It says, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness, meaning see the Lord when he returns in his glory, man, with the angels, the chariots, you know, because that's what's going to happen, right? Why those, Esau can't put it together, right? He can sit there and say, oh, man, we're seeing, there's a lot of so-called UFO sightings, or what else they call them? I forgot the other name they call them, right? Where they say, oh, man, things are tense. It's going to end up being a nuclear war if the things don't cool off. But they don't put the two together. That, yeah, the Lord's going to send them chariots just like birds, and they're going to come here to swoop up the elect and destroy everybody else with the Lord himself leading the charge. So that's crazy, man. It's I mean, in a good way. You know what I'm saying? But now, here it goes. The nigga woman, she don't want you to forget about it, right? She always want to be noticed and do extra stuff and seek attention, right? To get that attention. She craves attention. Okay, well, keep your attention on this scripture. It says, then she that is my enemy shall see it. Okay? And these women are sworn enemies, man. Sometimes they look, if they could, they kill us if they had the power. These bitches are so fucking wicked right now. And they get more wickeder by the minute. More proud, more evil, more abominable. All right? That's why the scriptures mention about a lot of women getting killed. While you got simple niggas sitting up here trying to put women on a pedestal, the Most High is putting them on the scope. You're ready to blow their fucking head off, man, with destruction. All right? Hey, that's the spirit, man. That's the spirit. Smoke alarms going off. You know, hey, the word of the Lord is fire, baby. You know I gotta say that, man. Hey, the word of the Lord is fire, man. But yeah, you know, there's always some type of distraction coming. You know, what's the chance of that happening now? But anyway, I'm gonna bring it back and I'm gonna read this verse. It says, "Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power?" Because that's what these hoes say. All right, that's what they say. They don't believe in our Lord. They don't think that we're gonna ever receive no power. You know, but we've been telling, just like with the nuclear destruction that old boy's talking about, we've been telling them these things all along. He said, where is the Lord thy power? My eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. So that's judgment that's about to come upon these women. But now, going back, let's see, where was we at? 2 Peter's, let me just finish this out and then I'll go to the video. All right, let's see how far are we in? 24, okay. It says, for 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn, and the day star arise in your hearts. Speaking about Yahweh Shai, all right? Because Yahweh Shai is the true Lucifer, man. You so-called white people ain't the real Lucifer, man. You the fake Lucifer. You the fake. You had the torch for a minute. All right. Lucifer means a beacon of light, and that's another reason why these idiots in the church are gonna drop dead. All right. I wonder what Peter Jennings, okay, aka Geno Jennings, got to say about that. Okay, about Lucifer, because he sit there and he studied from the apostles on down, and basically he's trying to do our thing under the guise of Christianity. I guess he calls himself a Christian. All right. But he tries to go in and break down of words and stuff like that, you know? And at the end of the day, you don't realize, man, that you can't just try to do this or whatever. I mean, yeah, you fooling people. You got a big following, but that's really to your destruction. Matthew the 7th chapter, verse 13 breaks that down. And through the Spirit of the Lord, now we ain't gotta be like Nate and them guys. IUIC. We're not gonna go to nobody's buildings and march around and force you. Man, we care less. We don't need to talk to none of you motherfuckers, because at the end of the day, y'all heard. The Lord knows you heard, and you know that you heard this truth. And you heard it first from what? The Lord's prophets, man. And a lot of you trying to sit there and act like you came up with, down to the style of teaching, going into the blue letters, and that was given to us by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, starting with the head elder apostles on down. All right, the Lord opened our eyes to break this truth down, man. Okay, but now the scriptures speak about the day star rising in your heart. That's speaking about the Lord. Okay, and the precept to that is in Revelations, right? But it says, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures of any private interpretation. Meaning, in other words, you can't make up your own breakdown. You can't say the scriptures say something that it don't, because you say it. That's how a lot of these guys are. All right. It said, for the prophecy came not in old time by the will of men, but holy men. See? So be correct. It wasn't just no regular men that wrote these scriptures, man. Holy men of the Most High spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. And that's what the Spirit had me said in the beginning, right? So that's why we're not surprised, man. And once again, this is what we've been saying all along. All right? But it is going to go down. So now, let me see if I can play it.
Speaker into a crisis.
Okay.
Or tries to use it as a pretext to take aggressive action around Taiwan. That's on them. The United States is not looking for escalation.
Of course, because these devils don't want their
atop one of the world's
destroyed.
tallest skyscrapers, a brightly lit message welcoming House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan. The Speaker and her congressional delegation arriving.
Yeah, and since she got there, right, which, hey, that's why the scriptures say they shall hate the whore in our Revelations, because and the scriptures speak about this, the pride of America, right? How they're proud, how they look down upon the other nations and everything. So they're always doing things to poke, like they poke the bear all the time, Russia, and act like they didn't have nothing to do with it. And these other nations, they sit there poking at them, going over there trying to set up their puppets and everything, trying to, basically just take over other people's countries, like it says in the book of Habakkuk. So a lot of these guys, by this happening, now they're starting again with the more drills, and they're saying, look, you're pretty much about to cause a nuclear war. So again, it says UN chief warns world is one step from nuclear annihilation, and the doomsday clock should be all over. The seconds should be moved, the hands should be moved, should be to the damn. We probably a second away from America being destroyed, man. That's how close we are. That's how close we are. All right, we're real close to Yahweh Shai coming back, man. And brothers been talking about it. Brothers like, man, I feel Yahweh Shai it's coming. It's close, right? A lot of people think we crazy and we bug, But at the end of the day, they're gonna be the ones looking stupid when the Lord come, and He ain't fucking with the 2/3, man. Okay, all you wicked niggas that's teaching things you're not supposed to be. The Lord is not fucking with you, man. So it said, the UN chief warned Monday that Humanity is just one misunderstanding, one miscalculation away from nuclear annihilation. But see, it is going to happen because the Lord said his purpose is, matter of fact, let me just go to that real quick. Well, let's start Isaiah 55 and 11, right? I'll start at 10. Isaiah 55 and 10. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So that's showing you right there. The Most High don't be playing no games, man. If he say it's going to happen, you consider it done, all right? Because his word doesn't return void. And his word goes into the prophecies, meaning the things that the Lord said he was going to do to this bitch called America. So they're not going to come back to him void. So when old boys up here talking about one miscalculation away from nuclear annihilation, no, it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it. You can't change the, and the Most High is controlling these puppets. They all puppets, man. The scriptures say the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord to turn it whithersoever he will. So now they're telling you this, but we've been saying this before when everything seemed hunky-dory, before even 9/11. All right? We've been saying these things, man. Now you have no choice but to acknowledge it. But it said, citing the war in Ukraine, nuclear threats in Asia and the Middle East. See, this is all over the world. This is a globe, and not to mention the plagues that they have that they're spreading. Not to mention the collapse of the economies. All right. Not to mention people being, like the scriptures say, the distress of the nations, man, because of certain situations going on there. You got Europe, they stressed because with all these sanctions, because Russia is a big player over there in Europe and supplying gas and oil, So the United States made things a lot tougher for a lot of those other countries. So this thing is going to blow back on these devils, man. But it says, citing the war in Ukraine, nuclear threats in Asia, in the Middle East, and many other factors. Secretary General Antonio Guterres gave a dire warning at the opening of the long-delayed high-level meeting to review the landmark 50-year-old treaty aimed at preventing the spread of nuclear weapons, and which don't mean shit. See, this devil, this devil always breaks his agreements, man. Okay, we went this Isaiah 55. Let's try Psalms 55, if I'm not mistaken. Oops. Bear with me. I wanted Psalms 55. Psalms 55. And let's get right to it. Psalms 55. And I'll start at 19. So the Most High shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Selah, because they have no changes. Who's this speaking about? All right, they have not changed. They're still the same devil that they were back then. All these different so-called diseases or whatever, they were using them back then. And the information is out there. You can look up how they, and you got other Edomites speaking upon it, man. That's why you have Edomites stepping down from their jobs, because they realizing the wickedness of Esau, man, of what they did to the Lord's people. And now it's time to pay. All right, so it said the Most High shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Speaking about who? The Most High, the Ancient of Days, Selah, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not the Most High. Who's that speaking about? Who's sitting up there trying to play the Most High and alter your DNA and your genes that the Most High made, and sitting there trying to clone, and they got to making all these different ways to so-called heal people through technology with prosthetics and all this other bullshit they got, right? It said he have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He have broken his covenant. And that's what Esau's been doing. He's a habitual covenant breaker, man. Okay? He's been breaking covenants since his ass got here. He make all these agreements. Oh, we won't attack you if you just let us have this land. That we won't bother your land. Then what's the next thing you do? Now they encroach upon the land, right? And they sit there, find ways to justify it, and then they'll give you diseases, wipe out a whole village, take over the land. They did that whole thing going to starting from the east all the way to the west. All right, Esau did these things, man. Then they fought each other for different parts, right? But anyway, it says he have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He have broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So that's what's going on, you see? So don't be talking about no 50-year-old peace treaty, whatever they called it, about not advancing nuclear weapons. It says, read it on, should I say, the danger of increasing nuclear threats and a nuclear catastrophe was also raised by the U.S., Japan, Germany, the UN nuclear chief, and many others opening speakers at the meeting to review progress and agree to future steps to implement the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, known as the NPT. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said North Korea is preparing to conduct its seventh nuclear test. Iran has either been unwilling or unable to accept a deal to return to the 2015 nuclear agreement aimed at reining in its nuclear program. Yeah, because why? The scripture said, let the weak say I'm strong. So they're increasing their nuclear capability. And then you got big bro Russia, the big Russian bear, all right, Medvedev, I believe Medvedev is how you say bear in Russia, right? It says, is engaged, pardon me, in reckless, dangerous nuclear saber rattling in Ukraine, right? Which, right now is like the scriptures say, the wars and rumors of wars. But we're at a point now where these are going to actually turn into real situations, and those missiles will be shot off. All right. But anyway, I'm gonna end it there. I just want to just speak on that, because now people are starting to talk about the nuclear annihilation, destruction, missiles being fired. But we've been saying that. You have people saying, "Oh, they will never shoot those missiles." I've had people tell me, "No, those missiles they'll never be shot off." Right? I have one person tell me, "Oh, the stock market will never crash." You got a lot of fucking idiots out there, man. All right? That death can't come soon enough for a lot of these people. But anyway, with that, I'm going to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Say shalom to you, sincere Akim. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Brakathum. Shalom.